You spent 3 grand on a TV that lags during playoffs and ghosts during headshots. Yeah, that happened to more people than you think. Let's fix that disaster right now. I've spent the last month diving deep into professional reviews, horror user complaints on Reddit, Consumer Reports data, and actual pricing to find the only 7 TVs worth your money for gaming and sports in 2026. We're ranking these from solid to absolutely killer, using real specs, honest flaws, and zero marketing nonsense. Before we continue, subscribe so you don't waste money on the wrong TV. Let's dive in. Number 7. TCL QM6K. This thing shouldn't exist at this price point. The TCL QM6K comes with a native 144 Hz refresh rate and game accelerator 240 that pushes variable refresh to 288 Hz, which is frankly absurd for a TV that starts at $400 for 55 inches. It uses quantum dot mini LED technology with LD500 precise dimming, meaning 500 dimming zones keeping blooming under control. For sports, it hits around 1500 nits peak brightness, making Sunday football watchable even when your living room looks like a greenhouse at noon. Gaming performance is legitimately good with input lag hovering around 8 milliseconds in game mode, and it supports VRR across all 4 gaming consoles. But here's the honesty part. The viewing angles aren't great, so if you're hosting 10 people for the Super Bowl, folks on the couch edges will see washed out colors. The remote is also tragically cheap, like dollar store cheap, and the smart interface can stutter when you're flipping between apps. A Reddit user called it the TV that makes you wonder why you'd spend double, and they're not wrong. Verdict: best budget entry that punches way above its weight class. Number 6. Samsung S90FQ OLED. If the S95F is the flagship, this is the smarter younger sibling that still crushes it. The S90F uses the same quantum dot OLED panel technology, but trims corners most people will never notice. Pricing lands around $1,500 for 55 inches and just under $2 grand for 65 inches as of December 2025. It delivers a native 120 Hz refresh rate, supports 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, and keeps the punchy QD OLED color volume that makes HDR content glow inside screen. The real win is brightness in game mode. Unlike many OLEDs, the S90F holds brightness while gaming, so you never choose between visual quality and responsiveness. My cousin picked up the 65-inch model on Black Friday, and Champions League matches felt pitch-side. Motion clarity stays razor-sharp, pixel response is nearly instant, and fast gameplay shows zero ghosting. Input lag comes in at a tight 9.1 milliseconds. There are compromises. Samsung still skips Dolby Vision, locking you into HDR10+, which matters if you live inside the Apple ecosystem. The glossy screen reflects more than the S95F, making bright rooms tougher. Verdict: flagship performance, smarter pricing, minimal sacrifices overall. Number 5. Sony Bravia 9 Mini LED. Sony doesn't mess around when they want to flex. The Bravia 9 costs $2,000 for 65 inches and pushes up to $5,500 for 85 inches. But what you get is legitimately movie theater grade picture quality. It uses Sony's XR backlight master drive with thousands of mini LED zones hitting 2,816 nits peak brightness according to LifeStory research testing. For sports, the motion processing is unmatched. Sony's XR Clear Image Tech eliminates blur during fast pans, so tracking a puck during hockey or a fastball during baseball feels unnaturally smooth. Gaming gets PlayStation 5 optimization features, including Auto HDR tone mapping and Auto Genre Picture Mode that switches settings based on what you're playing. I tested Red Dead Redemption 2 on this, and the HDR implementation made sunsets look almost painterly. The built-in Dolby Atmos speakers are shockingly competent at 70 watts with a 2.2.2 channel setup. But real talk, the input lag sits around 17 milliseconds, which is fine for single-player games, but gets wrecked in competitive shooters. Also, the Google TV interface occasionally lags, which is baffling on a $3,000 TV. Verdict: best picture quality for sports fans who also love cinematic gaming. Number 4. TCL QM8K Mini LED. TCL looked at premium TVs costing $3 grand and said, We'll do that for 1,000. The QM8K starts at $998 for 65 inches and delivers specs that embarrass TVs twice its price. It uses a crisp glow WHVA panel with native 120 Hz, boosting to 240 Hz using Game Accelerator mode. You get 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, full VRR support, and ultra-low input lag around 7 milliseconds. Sustained brightness reaches close to 2000 nits, while the new Halo control system reduces blooming far better than last year's model. I saw side-by-side Reddit comparisons where users struggled to tell this apart from a Sony Bravia 8 during HDR gaming. For sports, the anti-reflective coating manages ambient light well, and wide viewing angles keep colors accurate for everyone on game day. One Lemmy user returned an LG C4 after testing this, saying daytime sports looked dramatically brighter. There are trade-offs. Black levels cannot match OLED, so dark scenes show slight grayness. The speakers are average and the build feels more plasticky than premium rivals. Still, for the money, this TV delivers shocking performance. Verdict: the best value premium mini LED you can buy today right now. Number 3. Hisense U8QG. This is the TV that makes OLED owners question their life choices in bright rooms. The Hisense U8QG starts at just $597 for 55 inches and delivers 4,000 nits of peak brightness using mini LED backlighting. That is brighter than most flagship OLEDs combined. It runs a native 165 Hz refresh rate and supports VRR up to the full 165 Hz across 3 HDMI 2.1 ports. For gaming, input lag sits around 6 milliseconds in Game Mode Pro. I tested Apex Legends on this TV and the motion clarity at 165 Hz felt closer to a high-end gaming monitor than a living room display. For sports, watching the World Cup in a sun-drenched room was enjoyable. The anti-reflective screen coating handles glare better than TVs costing more. Consumer Reports ranked it among the top 5 TVs for value in 2025, and Reddit's home theater community recommends it. One user joked, "I laughed at the brand name, then I saw the picture." There are compromises. You get 3 HDMI 2.1 ports, so multiple consoles require juggling cables. Viewing angles are average and the Google TV interface can stutter. Verdict: the best brightness per dollar you can buy. Number 2. Samsung S95 FQD OLED. Samsung built this to solve OLED's biggest weakness: reflections. The S95F starts at $1899 for 55 inches and goes up to $4499 for 77 inches. But the matte anti-glare coating is revolutionary. It hits 2,198 nits peak brightness, making it the brightest OLED ever tested by Consumer Reports. You can watch this thing in direct sunlight without squinting, which fundamentally changes where OLED fits in your home. For gaming, you get 120 Hz native with 144 Hz support for PC gaming, 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, ultra-low input lag at 9.8 milliseconds, and that infinite contrast OLED is famous for. Fast Twitch shooters look insane on this panel. For sports, the glare-free viewing means daytime games finally work with OLED technology, and the punchy quantum dot color makes jerseys and grass look almost hyper-real. My buddy, who's a professional video editor, said watching March Madness on this felt like watching through a window instead of a screen. The downsides? Still no Dolby Vision because Samsung is stubborn. The matte coating very slightly softens the image compared to glossy OLEDs, though most people won't notice. And it's expensive, like legitimately expensive. Verdict: the brightest, most versatile OLED money can buy. Number 1. LG C5 OLED. This is it. The LG C5 OLED starts at $1,600 for 55 inches and earns perfect 5-star ratings across major review sites for good reason. It runs a 144 Hz refresh rate, packs 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, and delivers 1,180 nits of peak brightness, impressive for a WOLED panel. Input lag sits at 9.2 milliseconds, and it supports every gaming feature that matters: VRR, ALLM, G-Sync, FreeSync, and Dolby Vision gaming. That last detail changes everything. Dolby Vision HDR in games like Horizon Forbidden West looks transcendent, pulling you into every scene. For sports, motion handling is flawless. Perfect blacks create infinite contrast, making players explode off the screen during fast action. Viewing angles beat any LCD technology, so everyone at your Super Bowl party sees accurate colors. I tested it beside the Samsung S95F. The Samsung was brighter, but the C5 felt more balanced and natural. Reddit's OLED community calls it the default recommendation. Life Story Research found the highest satisfaction rating among gaming TV buyers in 2025. Weaknesses are minor. Burn-in risk exists if news runs all day, though modern OLED protection helps. Bright rooms favor Mini LED and the S95F. The magic remote takes time. Still, this TV works. Gaming, sports, movies, streaming. Verdict: the best TV for gaming and sports, period. Now before you buy, you need to understand the panel wars. OLED, Mini LED, and QD-OLED. OLED panels, like the LG C5, use self-emitting pixels that turn completely off, delivering perfect blacks, infinite contrast, and near-instant response times, ideal for gaming. The trade-off is lower peak brightness and some burn-in risk if misused. QD OLED, like Samsung's S95F, builds on OLED with quantum dots, pushing brighter highlights and richer colors. Mini LED uses thousands of backlights to achieve extreme brightness with no burn-in, but can show blooming. OLED favors gaming, Mini LED shines in bright rooms, and QD OLED balances both. The Smart Buying Guide: what actually matters. Room lighting comes first. Bright rooms demand high brightness and anti-glare, while darker rooms let OLED shine with perfect blacks. Screen size matters too. Take your seating distance in inches and multiply by 0.84 to find your ideal diagonal. For gaming, don't compromise. 120 Hz is the minimum. HDMI 2.1 is essential for consoles. VRR is mandatory, and input lag should stay under 10 milliseconds. For sports, motion processing and wide viewing angles matter most if friends are watching. Smart integration and quality matter because this TV will be part of daily life. Here's the part specs miss. Your TV hosts movie nights, playoff drama, and late-night gaming escapes. The wrong choice doesn't just waste money, it weakens experiences. All 7 TVs here are excellent, just tuned for different needs. Pick the one that matches your room, habits, and budget. Drop your thoughts below and subscribe for guides.